Hello, BookTube. This is a bookshelf tour, the fourth bookcase, which is really a series of bookcases on the full wall bookcase. So this is the third video of that group, and it's art. In this case, a lot of architecture. So I'll just get right to it. This volume, Talbot Hamlin, Architecture Through the Age by Talbot Hamlin, Avery Librarian, Columbia University, the story of building in relation to man's progress, profusely illustrated, it says. This is a 7th printing. G.P. Putnam's Sons, New York. Lovely title page. Copyright 1940 by Talbot Hamlin. And like I say, this is the 7th impression, designed by Robert Josephy. And it's exactly what it says. It's Architecture Through the Ages. So you'll get it. It's a good overview. It has a section of photographs right here. So we move from Mr. Talbot to one of my favorite books of all time. Oh, it doesn't have a dust jacket, unfortunately, but The City in History by Lewis Mumford, Harcourt, Brace and World. The City in History, its origins, its transformations, and its prospects. Harcourt, Brace and World Incorporated, New York. And this one is 1961. Absolutely one of my favorite books of all time. And it again is what it purports to be. It's a city, from an author and a great thinker's perspective, the story of the city through history, which is basically a story of civilization through history. Look at this. So this book I can't recommend highly enough. So see it around. It was very popular, so you should be able to find a copy of it somewhere. And some of these I'm doing by size because I'm upstairs doing it because family's watching TV. So, and some of the books are oversized, so they're out of order what they would be on the shelf, but it's the easiest way for me to do it without knocking all the books over. So this one's a popular book. You see it around a lot. Brunelleschi's Dome by Ross King. How Renaissance Genius Reinvented Architecture. So it's Walker and Company, New York. Copyright 2000. This is that would be the 8th printing, I guess. Give you an idea how it's dome. So anyone alive in Florence on August 19th, 1418 would have understood the significance of the competition announced that day concerning the city's magnificent new cathedral, Santa Maria del Fiore, already under construction for more than a century. And it's basically to make the dome, and that's what Brunelleschi did. So here's another. Well, let me do this. Like I say, I've got to do these by size. This is Frank Lloyd Wright. This is one of those Penguin Lives, and there are some wonderful ones. They're short. This is Ada Louise Huxtable. Viking did this, and it was in this is first edition in 2004. And it's a brief biography of Frank Lloyd Wright. It's a good one. I enjoyed it. Another biography. I finished this, I think, last year or the year before. I really enjoyed it and learned a lot. Le Corbusier, and it's by Nicholas Fox Weber. Alfred Knopf, 2008, excuse me. I never thought of myself as a Corbusier fan. There's big concrete eyesores across much of the world as far as I'm concerned. The story is a fascinating one. I had to reassess my judgment on some of his works. He's as much a showman as anything else, but that's all right. Still not a huge fan of some of those buildings, but I do understand what he was trying to do. But the biography is really well done. Then St. Peters, James Lee Milne. I don't even know how long I've had this book. It's been a while. It was the story of St. Peters Basilica in Rome, Little Brown and Company, Boston. And let's see, 1967. So it's a history of the building and buildings. Now this one I just started, and it's the Parthenon Enigma: A New Understanding of the West's Most Iconic Building and the People Who Made It by Joan Bretton Connolly. It's going to be a little hard to see. It's a very nicely produced book with the end papers, which show the Parthenon frieze. And it's very, it's a very important story, obviously. So it's Alfred Knopf, New York, 2014. So it's a pretty recent book, and it's well written. Excellent notes, excellent bibliography. So it's a scholarly thing. I'm actually not moving through it very fast. I'm on page 122. So you'll notice that when I do that, so I'm on 122 and I've got two bookmarks. Well, I follow the notes in the back while I'm working through the book. It's been a bit. It seems to be in a bit of a slow spot right now. So we'll see how it goes. Then I got the Acropolis, the most important example of Greek architecture, the seat of Greek civilization and culture, with magnificent photographs. R.J. Hopper, the Acropolis. This is the Macmillan Company, New York, and it was 1971. Let's see what we got. And I like these black and white illustrations. I like the depth they give. So this is just a story of the Acropolis. Now, let me move some of these out of the way because this is going to get a little trickier, which is why I wanted to do these books out of order a little bit, because I got some oversized volumes that are going to be a little bit much to handle, and I'm not even sure how I'm going to show them. Let's start with this. As you can see, compared to my big old noggin, it's a pretty good sized book. It's Egypt, Architect, Sculpture, and Painting. Fiden Press, 330 plates, 60 in color, by K. Lang and M. Hermer. Again, Fiden Press. Oh, didn't know that was in there. A little bookmark. Add that to the collection. Where did I get that? Oh, History Book Club. That's why I used it for that. Okay. I'm going to try to hold the title page up. Magnificent illustrations and photographs. So if you're into this sort of thing, it's a great book. Like I say, a little hard to. If you're sitting down in the chair just reading it, it's fine. I don't have a problem with big books if I'm in the right spot. Sometimes they can be a joy, but showing them on camera can be a bit of a challenge. Let's see, this one's sort of nice. Let's see if you can get some of that. The glare. So, magnificent book. The next one, equally, let me get that out of the way. Equally is large. National Museum of Anthropology, Mexico. Art, Architecture, Archaeology, Ethnography. Pedro Ramirez Vasquez and others. Abrams and Helvetica for the publishers. Okay. This one's done. Oh, the end papers are nice here. It's a map. 285 illustrations, including 54 in color. One's in color. I'll show you how those work. See if I get you a title page here. Harry and Abrams Incorporated, New York, in association with Helvetica Press. So it's National Museum of Anthropology, Mexico. Art, Architecture, Archaeology, Anthropology. Introduction by Ignacio Bernal. Anybody who was an archaeology student back in the days when I was would know him. Designed and edited by Beatrice Trueblood. Translation from the Spanish text by Mary Jean Labadie. And then there's a comma, Azazats. I don't know what that means. 1968. So here, let me hold that up. This is a really, if this is your sort of thing, this is a fun book. I'm going to try to show you a color illustration without damaging it. So you see how that is? I don't know if you can see when I'm doing this. These are taped in or pasted in, and they're throughout. See if I find another. Oh, this is great, huh? And then this one here you'll see all the time in those sorts of books. Like here, yeah, here's a. So it's pasted in. So far they've stayed in. So pretty neat volume. Then this last one was just sort of fun. Castles of Europe, William Anderson's, and so it's Castles of Europe from Charlemagne to the Renaissance by William Anderson's, photographs by Wim Swan. Random House, New York is a foreword by Sir John Hackett, principal of King's College, University of London. And this is from 1970. So here's the cover. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see. So if you like castles, it's very nicely illustrated, color and black and white. And good survey of European castles. So that pretty much does it with some of these architecture related or archaeology and architecture related books. To say some of them are oversized volumes, but they're fun, and I hope you enjoyed this third part of the fourth full wall bookcase. Thank you, BookTube.